In the dim light of the crescent moon, I found myself wandering through the desolate town of Ravenshadow. Abandoned houses loomed over me like silent sentinels, their broken windows whispering tales of a forgotten past. A cold breeze whispered through the empty streets, carrying with it the stench of decay and an unmistakable air of dread. As I strolled through the eerie silence, a sense of unease settled in the pit of my stomach. My surroundings seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, as if the town itself held dark secrets that were waiting to be unraveled. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, every step I took echoing through the silence like a thunderous heartbeat. I came across an ancient-looking mansion that stood at the end of the street, its grandeur now reduced to a decaying facade. The wrought iron gate groaned as I pushed it open, revealing a pathway choked with twisted vines and overgrown weeds. As I approached the mansion's entrance, the door creaked open as if inviting me inside. The interior was shrouded in darkness, and an oppressive silence hung in the air. Dust motes danced in the feeble moonlight that filtered through the broken windows. I cautiously stepped further into the foyer, my footsteps muffled by the thick carpet that covered the floor. A distant sound echoed through the mansion, a haunting melody that seemed to seep from the very walls. It was a tune I couldn't quite place, both beautiful and sinister in its orchestration. The melody beckoned me deeper into the mansion, as if it held the key to the mysteries that awaited. The hallway stretched endlessly before me, adorned with portraits of long-forgotten faces. Their eyes seemed to follow my every move, and their gaunt expressions hinted at a profound sorrow that transcended time. I felt an overwhelming urge to flee, but an unseen force propelled me forward, deeper into the heart of the mansion. The haunting melody led me to a grand ballroom, its chandeliers swaying gently, as if moved by an otherworldly breeze. In the center of the room, a figure in a tattered evening gown swirled gracefully to the haunting music. Her face was obscured by shadows, and her dance seemed more like a macabre ritual than a celebration. As the melody reached its crescendo, the figure halted, and the room fell into an oppressive silence. Suddenly, the shadows parted, revealing a grotesque mask that adorned the dancer's face. The mask bore a twisted visage, a grotesque mockery of joy frozen in a permanent rictus. The dancer extended a skeletal hand towards me, her hollow eyes locking onto mine. A voice, both sweet and chilling, emanated from behind the mask, whispering, "Welcome to the nightmare, where dreams and reality intertwine." With those words, the ballroom plunged into darkness, and the haunting melody transformed into a cacophony of anguished wails and haunting whispers. The once elegant surroundings crumbled away, revealing a nightmarish landscape that defied all reason. The walls twisted and contorted, pulsating with a malevolent energy. I stumbled through the surreal nightmare, each step leading me deeper into a realm where the boundaries between dreams and reality blurred. Unearthly creatures with eyes of fire and twisted limbs lurked in the shadows, their sinister whispers echoing through the twisted corridors of my mind. As I traversed the surreal landscape, I became aware of a sinister presence that watched my every move. The air grew thick with malevolence, and the once familiar surroundings warped into grotesque versions of themselves. The mansion itself seemed to be a living entity, a manifestation of the nightmares that had taken root within its walls. I tried to escape the ever-shifting nightmare, but the mansion seemed to stretch infinitely in all directions. The haunting melody continued to play, its dissonant notes echoing through the twisted corridors like a dirge for sanity. With each passing moment, the nightmare intensified, and I felt myself losing grip on reality. Shadows whispered forbidden secrets, and the air became charged with an otherworldly energy. I realized that I had become entangled in a web of nightmares, where the line between dream and reality had become irreversibly blurred. As the haunting melody reached its climax, I found myself standing at the edge of a bottomless abyss. The dancer stood before me, her mask now contorted into a sinister grin. With a haunting laugh, she extended her hand once more, inviting me to embrace the abyss. In that moment, I made a choice: to succumb to the darkness or to break free from the clutches of the nightmare. With a surge of determination, I turned away from the abyss and fled from the twisted mansion, the haunting melody fading into the distance. I emerged into the cold night air, gasping for breath as the oppressive atmosphere of Ravenshadow lifted. The abandoned town lay before me, bathed in the pale light of the moon. As I walked away from the haunted mansion, I couldn't shake the feeling that the nightmares lingered, waiting to ensnare the next unsuspecting soul who dared to enter their realm. And so, Ravenshadow remained a silent witness to the nightmares that came alive within its decaying walls, a place where dreams and reality intertwined in a dance of eternal torment.